Good morning, North Schuylkill. I'm Doug Weiss.
And I'm Dan Tomtitian.
Tomorrow, Americans will collectively recognize the sacrifice made by the brave men and women who have dedicated their lives to preserving the freedoms of our country in the observance of Veterans Day. On Tuesday, all students and faculty were present for a special assembly honoring local veterans from Schuylkill County. The majority of the presentation was led by retired Army veteran Colonel Frank Hancock. All in attendance were engaged by Colonel Hancock's energy and passion in regards to the holiday.
If you raise your hands and you get it wrong, though, you owe me 2 push-ups. It's good? Yeah, that's fair, right? Hey, you don't get to send it. Yeah, if you don't get it right, you go push-ups. All right, here we go. All right, ready? All right, here we go. In what year? These are all history questions. In what year did Pearl Harbor happen? Go.
1941.
Booyah! The freshman team are one on the board. Booyah!
Drew Mashak had the opportunity to talk more with Colonel Hancock after the assembly.
I'm Drew Mashak within the news here with Colonel Hancock. So first and foremost, Colonel, I'd like to thank you for your service and being here at our assembly today. So what can you tell us about your service?
Well, I started in 1968, went off to West Point, graduated in 72. When I graduated, I went into the infantry. I spent 30 years in the infantry. My combat time was in Desert Storm. I was a battalion commander with the 101st. I ended up my career at the Army War College. I was an instructor there, and it was a great time. What I do now, I teach high school, junior ROTC at Cedar Cliff High School, Army JROTC, and I've been doing that. This is my 16th year.
And can you elaborate with us a little bit about how you work with those students?
Sure. JROTC is an elective. I have 123 kids in the program. We meet with them every day. We talk about leadership, wellness, how to be a better writer, a better speaker, geography, and a little bit of military history. If you boil it down to, though, it's really character building. The program is about making sure that the student becomes a better citizen. And so we use that as our overarching mission, and we try to get at it every day.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think makes Veterans Day such a special holiday?
Well, it's a time to pay back to those people that keep you free. I mean, there's a small collection of people in the United States, 23 million, which is about 13% of the population. The other 87% reap the fruit of what these folks do, the men and women who go out and protect the country and keep it safe and allow us to be the freest country in the world. So it's a great time to say, hey, thanks a lot for what you've done. In most cases, that person has given their youth for the protection of the country.
Of course. Thank you so much, Colonel, and we hope to see you out here next
All right,
year.
thanks a lot.
Thanks.
For the third year, students attended a school-wide board meeting where they observed the school board in action. After a 30-minute session, an hour was allotted for students to voice their concerns about the school policies. Some common trends involved the dress code, extracurricular involvement, and recognition that, although may not have been completely resolved, generated a lot of conversations with students and teachers. Students are encouraged to attend the upcoming school board meetings.
8 students visited Susquehanna University to attend a series of creative writing workshops on Monday. Students interested in writing enrolled in seminars on short stories, journalism, screenwriting, and novel writing, where they worked directly with university faculty and published authors. Gracie Orozco, a junior, was in attendance and recommends the trip for future writers.
Hi, I'm Faith Gersich, and I'm here with Gracie Orozco, who recently went on a field trip to Susquehanna. What was this event and field trip about, and why was it different than other field trips you've been on?
Well, the field trip at Susquehanna was actually a writing workshop in which we got to choose which category we wanted to learn about. So, for example, there was journalism. I personally did novel writing. There was poetry, etc. And It was different because it was very hands-on. Of course, it was a workshop, so we got to actually go in with the professors, work with them. They helped us to on the fine details of our writing, and they just helped us a lot. Instead of like being talked at, we were worked with, and it was really nice.
So Gracie, what particular things did you learn on this trip?
So overall, we learned that writing is hard, and you're gonna have to practice a lot. It's not something that you can just get right off the bat, and if it does, like, that's cool, but you need to practice a lot, and you're gonna get a lot of bad writings before you get a good one. And we also learned that the mood is really important, and of course mood is the emotional effect of the text and the emotional effects that it has on the reader. And that's really important because if writing doesn't make you feel something, then what's the point, you know what I mean? And we learned, of course, about detail, as Mr. Callahan would say. You always need to add detail, so that's one thing that I learned.
That's very interesting. So why would you recommend this to other students who are interested in writing?
I would recommend it to other students because it was a very good experience. Overall, we got to go to an actual college, so you were able to experience writing on a higher collegiate level than on a high school level. And it helped me kind of decide whether or not I wanted to go into an English major or some sort of job that maybe includes English. It really helped me decide what I wanted to do for sure.
Thank you.
Beginning on November 28th, both Ms. White's Science and Social Studies teachers will be accepting donations for the SPCA. Donations can include items such as dog or cat food, canned or dry, blankets, cat litter, cleaning supplies, pet beds, and laundry detergent. The collection of these items will run from Tuesday, November 28th through Friday, December 22nd.
Sometimes it seems that we have a lot to say, but may not always have the opportunity to say all we need. Luckily, on Tuesday, Twitter granted its users twice the amount of characters available to express their thoughts. The new 280 character came after a test run with selected accounts and is now readily available for all accounts. If you haven't noticed the increase, simply update the app and see for yourself. Twitter also made headlines this week as a number of news outlets featured stories about the social media company and President Trump. As President of the United States, Donald Trump's communications with the public are regarded as government messages, and all citizens are constitutionally entitled to that information. Some citizens may consider Trump's tweets incendiary or misinformed, and often fire back with their own responses. Although private citizens reserve the right to block profiles that they consider harassing, President Trump's effort to block profiles can be argued as an infringement of First Amendment rights and could land him in court.
In July, the Knight First Amendment Institute filed suit in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York, alleging that the president and his communications team violated the First Amendment by blocking 7 people from the @DonaldTrump Twitter account because they criticized the president or his policies. The suit alleges that because Twitter has become a hallmark of Trump's administration, the information he releases on it is relevant to the public.
This week's reward system winner for senior high is Dustin Wallace from Mr. Steiner. And for junior high, it's Dominic Bruno from Mrs. Fowler. Please claim your prize in the office.
I'm Doug Wiest.
And I'm Dan Tomtitian.
Put a little sunshine in your day.